What is something that was actually better, back in my days? A lot of popular tourist spots are now shells of their former selves. McDonald's apple pies. They were deep-fried with the fries. So good but as hot as the sun. Saturday mornings. My back. Q-tips used to be puffier before the cost-cutting. The ocean. In my city, country we had 4 seasons. Now it's 80% summer and 20% some discount winter thing. The size of Cadbury eggs. House prices. The job market. Airport security and privacy. For the light-hearted answers, I'll go with couch co-op video games. Wall phones. You just don't get the same satisfaction slamming a cell phone when hanging up on people you are mad at. Video games on launch day. MTV. Back when they actually played music videos, and not endless parades of reality TV. Shopping malls. Browse CDs and used video games. Play some Mortal Kombat and Daytona at the arcade. Get something to eat at the food court. Now it's just jewelry stores and overpriced clothes. Not having every dumbass decision you make recorded and preserved for eternity online for future employers or partners to find. Air travel was a treat, an event. Now, unless you are traveling private, is a nightmarish torture. Pizza Hut was awesome in the 80s. Now it's bland. The Internet. It wasn't as much of a corporate hellscape in the 2000s. Cartoon Network. On the downside. That sad feel when Cartoon Network switched to TNT at 10 p.m. and started showing old movies. Magnum ice creams. Mars ice creams and others like them. They used to have such thick chocolate on 'em you could cut your lip. Now they're just pathetic. Pathetic. Emphasis on single-player campaigns. The Halo pistol. Mortgages. Could get a really nice house for $125,000 in a nice city. No microtransactions in video games. Arby's 5 for $5. Just being out with your friends all day on your bikes. As long as you were home by dark. No one cared. Downtime. The days of staring at a wall and not thinking of anything have gone and been replaced by checking your phone. Being able to afford property. Just wish I'd been smarter and had more foresight 30 years ago. Forests. My grandma had a forest in her backyard that would go for miles. Now you get about 500 feet and run into a new subdivision. Was mental health always this bad, or was it just that people didn't talk about it, didn't know about it back in the day? Not having an understanding of how awful the world is. I was much happier as a child. Being disconnected when leaving home. Saturday morning cartoons never were and never will be as perfect as they were. I'll die on this hill. The trails in Colorado. Teen Titans. The early internet, when talking to people across the world via AOL Instant Messenger was cool and new. Traveling. Now every airport and resort is packed with Instagram wannabes. You could just walk into a store and ask if they had a job and they would say yes or no. Not go check online. Minecraft community. Full-size Lil Debbie snacks. Going for a walk. Walking home at night. I remember when it was quieter and peaceful, but now I can rarely enjoy the walk without hearing someone's phone blasting. Retail stores. Amazon has killed most of them off. Starting with bookstores. I could easily spend a day in a bookstore. Capri-Sun juice pouches. The taste of bananas. Halo multiplayer. Human interactions, for sure. Back in the day, Braum's milk had a sweet aftertaste. It was a dessert in its own right. YouTube. Sesame Street. My favorite segment was Kermit Reports. Being a free-range kid. Playing with your toys and imagination instead of iPads and screens. YouTube. It was in its prime about 8 to 10 years ago. Before it was full of constant ads and restrictions on what you can monetize. Friendships. You'd arrange a hangout time. Learn their numbers or addresses. Actually talk to one another and have less anonymous trolling online. Going outside. Honestly, trick or treating. It used to be just the kids and maybe one parent supervising. But now I see kids getting driven around by parents and just overall a lot more supervision. Pretty much everything because of this fucking pandemic. In the US specifically, healthcare costs, college tuition, retirement plans, minimum wage. Life. Seriously. You were a worker. Now you are a brainless consumer. Television was free. All you had to do was plug it in and turn it on. Concerts at local, civic centers. The mid-sized touring circuit sort of disappeared during the 80s. The state of the entire ecosystem. Climate change and overfishing, overfarming and mass consumerism has ruined so much of planet. I wanted to say cartoons, but I forgot that I just finished watching The Owl House and I want more. The economy. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.